Imagine walking through a desert or standing on the edge of a canyon. You look down at the exposed walls of Earth, and what you see isn't just rock. It's time itself, stacked like the pages of a book. Each layer represents an era, a story, a forgotten world. Some are marked by the sudden end of life, a mass extinction. Others show a quiet, gradual change. But once in a while, you stumble upon something odd, a layer that doesn't quite belong. A sediment layer that seems artificial, too rich in certain metals, too uniform, or containing particles that nature doesn't normally produce. What if these anomalies are more than quirks of geology? What if they're messages from a civilization that time forgot? Let's dive into what we call technofossils, evidence of technology preserved in the geologic record. These aren't the fossils of living organisms, but rather traces of industrial processes, synthetic polymers, rare alloys, radioactive isotopes, or even nanomaterials. In our own time, humanity is producing an incredible amount of such material. Future geologists, whether human or alien, will easily detect our presence in the Earth's crust. Now imagine a past civilization, millions of years ago, doing the same. Perhaps they harnessed geothermal power or mastered nuclear energy. Maybe they built machines that left behind microscopic waste products now trapped in shale, or glassy residues formed by extreme heat. What some speculate could be the remnants of ancient power generation. In fact, some scientists have discovered melted mineral deposits fused together in ways that mimic industrial slag, waste from metal smelting. While these findings are often dismissed as volcanic or meteoric in origin, they raise a fascinating question. How do we tell nature from technology when the evidence is ancient and eroded? The Earth is not a passive observer. It's an active recycler. Mountains rise, oceans fall, continents drift. Over time, nearly all surface features are erased, distorted, or buried. If a civilization flourished during the Jurassic or Cretaceous periods, we would be lucky to find even a single unmistakable artifact. That's why context is crucial. A strange material by itself might not mean much, but if it appears alongside other signs, like isotopic anomalies, sudden climate shifts, or unusual biological activity, it might suggest a more complex story. Think of it like an archaeological crime scene. One clue can be a coincidence, but multiple clues, that's a pattern. Some of the oddities we find include microspherules, tiny glassy balls often linked to high-temperature events. While they can be caused by asteroid impacts or volcanic eruptions, some clusters appear in patterns inconsistent with known natural causes. Unusual magnetic signatures. Certain rock layers show strange magnetization, as though they had been exposed to intense electromagnetic fields. Could this be the leftover trace of ancient technology? Carbon isotope spikes. Massive disruptions in the carbon cycle, possibly indicating large-scale combustion or industrial activity. These findings may seem speculative, but they open the door to a larger question. What if we've already found evidence, but we didn't recognize it as such? The challenge is, most scientists are trained to see the world through the lens of natural processes. When something strange appears in the record, the first instinct is to look for a geological explanation. This is reasonable, but it may also blind us to rare possibilities. Consider this. If a highly advanced civilization lived tens of millions of years ago, their ruins wouldn't look like ours. They might not have skyscrapers or satellites. Their technology could be biological or quantum-based. Their footprint might be entirely invisible to the naked eye, existing only as subtle disruptions in the chemistry of rocks or the fossil record of microbial life. Even stranger is the possibility that such a civilization might have left deliberately hidden messages, beacons buried deep underground, or in stable orbit around the planet. waiting for the next intelligent species to find them. Some thinkers speculate that we should search not only the Earth, but also the Moon for evidence of ancient visitors, because the Moon lacks weather, tectonics, and erosion. But here on Earth, the evidence may be in plain sight. We just don't know how to read it yet. This idea isn't about conspiracy or fantasy. It's about science pushing its boundaries. The Silurian hypothesis is a real thought experiment developed by scientists like Gavin Schmidt and Adam Frank. It asks us to explore the possibility of deep-time civilizations with the same rigor we apply to searching for alien life on other planets. Why do we look for technosignatures on Mars, Europa, or exoplanets, but hesitate to do the same beneath our own feet? At Infinity Beyond, we believe it's time to look inward, to re-examine the ancient layers of Earth, not just for the story of life, but for the possible stories of intelligence lost to time. Because the truth is, we may not be alone in the universe, and we may not have been the first to reach for the stars from Earth.